So, if you live in the South, then you would know some of the hellscapes that exist down here. It isn't apparently obvious by the accent. I live in the South. I'm not going to reveal which state for my personal safety. But anyway, down here, we encounter various hellish events. This includes murderous wasps. Uh, what is what is it? The Waffle House Safety Index. We are the reason that exists because of hurricanes, which essentially, to anyone who doesn't know what that means, um, at a at a given time, a Waffle House is open in at least one city in every state in the South. There may be two or three really if your city's wealthy. Okay, sorry, my cat keeps meowing. But anyway, if you live in a state with, three, then you'll know that you've probably got, or not even a state, just a city with three Waffle Houses. You know, you're a big city who can afford good things. My city doesn't even have a Waffle House. We have a Huddle House. I'm over here thugging it out like Bruce do. Only got one. We can't even afford the real deal. We have to get the off-brand. So, anyway, with Waffle House, or with Huddle House, oh yeah, with Waffle House, I don't know why I got tripped up on Huddle House. But anyway, with Waffle House, there's usually an index of, depending on how severe the storm or world event's going to be, depends on if they're going to be open. So, like, during a Category 3 hurricane, Waffle House may be open, but during something like, during something like, you know, an invasion from another army, they may just have a slight delay in opening. They're like Denny's. They usually only close during catastrophic things because they're a 24-hour diner. But anyway, I have a feeling that just something about this year so far just tells me that there's going to be several instances where where a Waffle House local to me or to anyone else in the South is going to be closed because it's just going to be such a catastrophic event, whether that be like a Category 5 hurricane this year or something, or, just like a big attack or something. But anyway, that's not really. That's just a side tangent, more or less, the Waffle House Index of Safety. What this is mainly about is the hellscape that is living in the southern United States. Because, in places, there's obviously the stereotypes, like, Alabama's full of a bunch of people who marry each other's cousins, everything. Florida is just like a GTA Online server with mods and poor moderation, all that stuff. Then we get to Texas. They're known as the state with decent gun laws. A state where you can own like a full auto crossbow that shoots, that's belt fed and everything, or just a straight plasma rifle. Well, what is it? In just straight up in Arizona, they have one of the most dangerous wasp species known to man, known as the tarantula hawk wasp. This thing literally can paralyze your arm from one sting. Like, your entire arm could just be gone and necrotic if you're not careful because of one sting. Then there's, what is it? New Mexico, which, we all know what goes down in New Mexico, Breaking Bad activities, all that stuff. Then there's Kentucky, which, as much credit as it gets for being the horse racing state, as I've learned from someone who used to live in Kentucky, all the stereotypes that are about Alabama are true there. Because, yeah, apparently people just like marry each other down there. They don't, or up there, or something, or wherever, No one really cares. Just, you look pretty cute. You want to get married? That's basically just what Kentucky is. And at least it is modernly. Back when some other people were younger, it may have been bit better. But overall, the South is an abysmal hellscape. Like, it's literally like living in a Dark Souls boss arena. Because you never know what battle you're going to deal with. Like, the other day, I heard some story a friend had told me back when they used to live in Florida, that they were waiting for the bus when some crab literally reached out from this, like, just a horde of crabs crawled out from the sewers and, like, carried their friend away into the sewers. I think they're still looking for that kid. Like, that's some stuff that only happens in a town in Florida that doesn't have a name on a normal map. Which I'm pretty sure that's where my friend was from, some random town in Florida where they just don't have a name on them. Oh, come on! Anyway, yeah. See, this is your typical experience in Georgia. This is the most normal Georgia experience, is getting hit with domain expansion infinite void by going down the street. Like, what did I even do, bro? Most normal Georgia experience, I swear, dog. Oh, and then this is more of a slight on Olive Garden, but I still gotta say it. One time I went to Olive Garden and I made the mistake of ordering salmon and had explosive diarrhea in the bathroom. Like, it took us an hour to get out of Olive Garden because it was like, okay, I think oh, 1 second, guys, I'll be right back. Uh, yeah. Now it's just plain awful. But a benefit to the South, even though it's like living in a boss fight arena, is that we don't really care about our gun or firework laws because one of my friend's neighbors just straight up set off El Diablo on 4th of July, and I think they took out 2 houses with that. Like, genuinely just impressive that someone could get their hands on something that's like a tool for mass destruction from, like, meeting the right guy in a Walmart parking lot. Like, it's amazing what you can find in Walmart parking lots, which is saying a lot considering my last video is me talking about how abysmal the service you can get at Walmart's is. But there are some benefits, like, you can find a dog for the price of a Costco hot dog in a Walmart parking lot. And, now you've got a dog that's probably got mysterious diseases, but you got a dog, and sometimes that's better than nothing. What is it? I'm trying to think here. Oh yeah, trying to think of other stereotypes for states. Yeah, I went to Mississippi and they stole my soul. Like, I gotta find the dude who stole it. Like, I think that's my next story arc in life, is going back to Mississippi and reclaiming my soul. It's like whenever, like, watching a Los Pollos stream, and this dude's out here, and people are donating his chat, like, Los, if you ever come to Missouri within a nanosecond of breathing, you will be eradicated. See, like, that will happen to you if you go to Missouri. Like, my uncle went there for his senior trip back in, like, the 80s. And all they got back of him were his shoes. Like, nothing was left of him. They eviscerated him. He did not survive Mississippi. What else? I remember hearing a story from my mom when I was 4, that she had gone to, like, Florida, and there was just, like, a group of clowns, like, all piled in one car, just, like, driving around. And, like, they asked her for directions, and she said, "I'm not a local. What do you want me to tell you?" So they threw a Molotov at just some random house. I hope whoever lived in that house is okay. But I ain't ever going to Florida. Just out of safety. I mean, hear about dudes in there just, like, throwing alligators to the drive-throughs at Burger King so that they can because they got the wrong sauce. Like, you try pulling that anywhere else and it's over. Then how can I forget the hellscape, the modern day hellscape that is Tennessee? I mean, you got towns like Memphis, which, granted, although they have a holy site known as the Pyramid for Bass Pro Shop, which fellow content creator Quite has published an hour-and-a-half long video explaining, which I think you all should go check out, as Quite's pretty good. Got some good content. Honestly, Quite's a rookie. I think you guys should go subscribe, because they need more subscribers. But yeah, basically, even though Tennessee has things like the Bass Pro Shop Pyramid, that's still in Memphis, and that's where all of their budget went, because literally, if you've been keeping up with the news, the literal National Guard is deployed to Memphis, and it is an active war zone. Quite frankly, it terrifies me what potential can be unleashed in Minnesota. I think that's going to be the next Shibuya, mark my words. Like, if you guys thought the Shibuya incident from JJK was bad, dude, what is it? The Memphis incident is going to be worse. Like, I think more than one domain expansion is going to be popped there. I think Shrine will be open more than once just to atone for the sins of Memphis. What else? Trying to think of some. Oh yeah, Louisiana, dude. I rem- whenever I think of Louisiana, I just think of that clip of Kanye on like the I want to say the Johnny Carson show. Whenever it's like a telethon to like you know raise money for the victims of Hurricane Katrina, and he just out of the blue says George Bush does not care for black people or something like that. That was such a random clip, but I think about it anytime I think of Louisiana because the first thing you think about in Louisiana is Hurricane Katrina and how just disastrous that whole ordeal was. Like, tell whenever you think of a state more than anything, what first comes to your head? Because again, I think of Hurricane Katrina and just tragedies in general whenever I think of like Louisiana, because that's where all the bad hurricanes hit. That's like where some of the worst actions of the lead up to the Civil War were. Um, it's just impressive how much Louisiana has history wise. Like I'm pretty sure at one point it was like in common law there that the way you became mayor was being related to someone who could wrestle an alligator. Then again, I don't know. Louisiana's weird. All of the South is weird. I think the only normal state that's in the South is North Carolina because at least because it's close enough to the north that it qualifies as a normal state. Now it's like how people qualify your distance to like a country like Venezuela as to your safety as a state. Um, which I don't know why I went with Venezuela here, but yeah, just depending on how far from a place you are depends on how safe you are. I genuinely think that the further from the south you are as a state, the more sane of a state you'll be. Because you cannot tell me that people who live in North Carolina are any more sane than like someone who lives in say Alabama. Like then of course you'll get eradicated if you go to Georgia. Like it's genuinely terrifying what happens in Georgia. Hold on, I'm clipping that. That was insane. But anyway, yeah. Um, yeah, it's just impressive what happens in some of these southern states. Like, what's another? Oh yeah, Oklahoma. Yo, I never hear anything happening in Oklahoma that isn't a crime. Like, this wasn't really in Oklahoma. I don't even remember where it was. But if you're old enough to remember this, you'll remember that like back in like the reason why creepypastas died as a medium is because like there were two girls that were just like I think this was in either Oklahoma or Nebraska. They just like straight up stabbed their friend like 32 times in the name of Slender Man just because they thought it would be cool. Like it's appalling that people thought that that would be something good. But at the same time, it was that was why creepypastas died out and became all slop. Um, which yeah, this is weird. This is a weird side tangent to get on. Whenever this is supposed to be how just the southern United States is an abysmal hellscape that honestly is terrifying. Uh, I mean, Missouri exists. I mean, it's part of the reason why the Civil War happened. Like, I could go into a whole historical rant, but that would involve like covering terms that YouTube is not happy with, but because it's not ad friendly. Thanks a lot, PewDiePie. Uh, you're an OG, but yeah, that was not worth it of you to do on that stream. But yeah, just the southern United States as a whole is such a like it's a Lovecraftian horror that the southern United States exists, and by that law, it must exist, else the world crumbles. Leaving with that bar, I think that's enough for now because I'm genuinely out of ideas. But first, I'm gonna hit ult on this dude because I want to hit an Aoya ult in public server. He'd stop spamming for. Okay, well I messed that up, but I also one shot him, so that works. Anyway, take care, y'all. Also, again, the southern United States is an abysmal hellscape. Don't live in it if you can't help it.